Become a great learner. What's up, fam? It's November 6th, 2022, and it's day 37 of the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. If it's your first time tuning in with us, what I'm doing here is I'm actually choosing a card a day from T Harv Eker's Millionaire Mind Intensive cards. I'm reading the message on the card, sharing my thoughts on the message, and asking you as a viewer to share your thoughts, anything that came up, or possibly you've been using what's on this message already in your life and it's working wonders. And hey, comment below, let me know how it's going, what you're doing, how it's helping you, how it has it transformed your life, because I would love to learn from you. And if you missed a day, you go back here on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and watch those past videos, and also the remaining videos. These will also be uploaded on each platform. So with that, let's go ahead and let's choose the card. Where should we go? Let's try this over here. What we got? We'll do this one. Become a great learner. So become a great learner. Rich people constantly learn and grow. Poor people think that they already know. Every master was once a disaster. You can learn to be great at anything. Wow, this is really freaking powerful right here. Well, first thing that came into my mind as I read this one, become a great learner. I don't know why, but I got I heard this once about the lottery. So everyone wants to become a lottery winner. Everyone, well, I wouldn't say everyone, but usually in the lower or in middle class, you hear everybody, talking about, hey, win the lottery to become rich. And you see the lines and you see everybody talking about, and everyone, hey, did you get your lottery numbers, whatnot? And it's said, if you were to ever win the lottery, the first thing you have to do is become a millionaire. And what do I mean by that? It is that you have to learn how to think like a millionaire. Because if you're still thinking the same way as, which most likely you will be, as when you receive this millions of dollars, most of it's going to disappear. Why? Because you're still operating on the same financial literacy that you've been operating this whole time. So if you're a big spender, guess what you're going to do? You're just going to blow through that money, and that money's going to disappear. Just like, if your checks disappear, right before you get them, or possibly even before you get them right now, then if you become a lottery winner, the best thing to do is become, or learn and become how to become a millionaire, how to stay a millionaire, right? And one of these cards talked about get financially educated, which is why we're doing this whole thing. The main reason why I bought these cards is to hear these messages, go over these messages, and implement them into my life. Find a way and the means to implement them into my life to obviously try and transform my finances, transform my entire life. And that's why I'm sharing them with you. So here, become a great learner. And every card that we touched on, I believe I've possibly said something about, hey, pick up a book, and improve your skill sets, become more valuable as a person, as an employee, as a business owner. Become more valuable, and the only way you could do that is by being a learner, seeing what's working, seeing what skill sets are required, for your profession, for your career, what skill sets are required to move up in that profession or career. You want to be a supervisor, as I mentioned, or let's say a supervisor. Guess what? You got to learn how to delegate. You have to learn how to, talk to different personalities and communicate with different personalities. You have to become a better communicator. And what do you have to do? You have to learn those skill sets, right? And you either have to go to events, or you possibly there's a lot of online courses that'll teach you. But at the end of the day, you have to get into the practice of doing it. If you want to become a better communicator, and also learn how, different leadership practices inside how let's say a company grows or a company functions, Toastmasters is a great way to practice on your communication. Now, they're doing a lot of Zoom, so you could practice on video, but they also have in person, right? What else? So rich people constantly learn and grow. It's a never-ending process. You see, most of society, guess what happens? They only go to school up to 18, some not even up to 18. Why? Because you have to. Parents make us. And after that, everyone thinks that they learned everything, or just because they turn 18, they're adult, they have all the answers. But in reality, school doesn't teach us about finances, right? School doesn't teach us how to balance the checkbook. School doesn't teach us about investments. School doesn't teach us about, how to have our money make money for us. So we have to learn all these things. School doesn't teach us about networking, which is one of the most powerful things. In school, we're taught to freaking do everything on our own, which in reality, collectively is how you get farther. That's how you get farther, collectively, as with the help of others, with others on your team, and you building others up and brainstorming. This is not taught, throughout the school system, right? So poor people think that they already know, and if you're that type of person, that if someone tells you something about all this and you just say, oh, I know, you have to check yourself. The reality is you have to check yourself, because, we don't know everything, and it's better not to say I already know, so we could effectively learn. And not until you actually practice it and you could teach others how to do it, that's when you really know. But it takes practice over and over and over and over, and then teaching others how to do it to really have that say of, hey, I know. And most, rich people, you'll hardly find them saying, I know. They'll first want to see what is it that you know about it. And then, but most importantly, they'd want to know and learn. They'd want to learn possibly your take or your perspective, instead of just focusing on theirs, right? Because the more they can learn from others, the wider their knowledge of that particular area is, right? So then every master was once a disaster. So when you look at someone successful right now, it's not that that's how they started. It took time, right? They looked at the long-term goal. They literally they had a long-term vision, which I believe one of these cards talked about. It wasn't just overnight. It wasn't an overnight success. If you watch these videos that I'm doing, a year from now, 2 years from now, even if you go back, I believe I have a few videos from like 2015, 2016. I've improved. Maybe not much, but no, I have improved. And I know in the next year or two, even the editing, everything's going to be a farther improvement, because I'm learning in the process. I'm learning how to edit. I'm getting better at my communication on video. I'm getting better with my results, with my stories, with everything, right? I'm constantly learning, and yes, there will be setbacks. Yes, there will be challenges, but as long as I continue to move forward, that's what matters. Because I know it's not where you're at, it's where you're going. You know, there's a quote, don't see a man of who he is right now. You know, look at him and who he could become, right? Don't look at a man at who he is right now. Look at him at who he could become, man or woman, if you're watching this, right? And that's what we have to constantly, you know, tell ourselves. It's not about our setbacks, you know. It's or you know the failures we've had. Those were part of our story and part of our journey, which got us here where we're at. But the reality is, where do we want to go? Where's our vision? And as long as we know where we're going and we stay focused on where we're going, you know what? It was never guaranteed that it was going to be a straight path. You know, but as long as we stay the course, it's guaranteed we'll be there, even if we have to go left, right, a little bit backwards, you know, make a huge go around the wide hill, right, wide mountain, but then get back on course. But as long as we keep that vision, that's what matters. All right. So you can learn to be great at anything. But in order to be great at anything, guess what? It takes focus, takes dedication, takes persistence, takes grit. Right? It takes, you know, and then no excuses at all. Right? Perseverance. If you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, watch the quote Kobe Bryant, you know, that I posted the other day. You know, no excuses, but it takes grit and perseverance, you know, and hard work to really get to where we want to go. But at the end of the day, we have to become, you know, a great learner. Become a great learner. I look back at the card because I'm trying to look at the video. But become a great learner. Yeah. It's, you know, we constantly hear the knowledge is power, but at the end of the day, it's applied knowledge is power. So we learn and then we implement. Learn and then we implement, but it's nonstop. Right? And especially if you want to become, as we mentioned, an expert in the field, you know, give yourself 5 years, focus on it, that one thing, you know, for 5 years, learn what you know, everything that you're able to. And guess what? You'll become an expert in 3 to 5 years. But overall, you know, that's it. What I have to say, those are my thoughts. You know, comment below. What are your thoughts? We're going to close it out. Become a great learner. Rich people constantly learn and grow. Poor people think that they already know. Every master was once a disaster. You can learn to be great at anything. All right, fam. So hopefully this was valuable to you. You know, comment, share. Let me know how these videos are going. And also, you know, follow me on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook. You know, and you know, we're just gonna keep posting these videos. We have maybe about 10, 15 videos to go on this particular subject of secrets of the millionaire mind, but it's going good, in my opinion. But overall, thank you. God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow.